I was speaking to a woman who was injured in an accident, and she told me that her doctor was sending her to the hospital for an MRI of her neck and for physical therapy. I said, hold on a minute. You may want to rethink your choices. Hang on a minute, and I'll explain why you should stay away from the hospital system for tests and physical therapy after an accident. Hi, I'm Guy DiMartino, a Northwest Indiana personal injury lawyer and author of a guide to Indiana car accident claims. You may be saying, Guy, I have to follow my doctor's advice. I agree. You do have to follow your doctor's advice, but you need to look at yourself as a medical consumer. In many personal injury claims, there is a limited amount of insurance available. You may be lucky enough to have medical payments insurance under your policy. However, it is probably only about $5,000. You know, when you go to the hospital, they charge you $4 for a Tylenol. The hospital is going to charge you somewhere between $2,500 and $3,000 for an MRI. And at the hospital, physical therapy can cost $500 an appointment. In this scenario, you can have the MRI and 3 or 4 physical therapy visits. The problem is that in accident cases, the hospital wants their charged amount, even though if they were to bill commercial insurance or Medicare or Medicaid, they would only get a fraction of that amount. So if your MRI is ordered, aren't you better off going to an independent MRI facility where you might pay $1,500 for the MRI, or an independent physical therapist where you might get your visits for $150 or $200 a visit? Imagine how much more care that you can get so you can get better quicker. You have to remember that the amount of your medical bills is always going to come out of the amount of settlement. If you have a hospital that has a $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 bill, they're going to want to get paid that whole amount. And if you can get the services for your medical care that can help you get better from another source, you might be better off in the long run. If you have any questions about an Indiana personal injury matter, you can always give me a call. I am Guy DiMartino, meeting you at the intersection of law and medicine. Have a nice day.